you want to do at this time is really dive into the business development strategies, right? Some of you, I think there's about 3 of you who already won contracts. We really want to be very intentional about how we're driving opportunities to you. We're sending you bid opportunities through email. Lunch and Learns. Lunch and Learn is one of the innovative strategies that we're putting together to make sure that you get an opportunity to network with the prime. By show of hands, how many of you are currently doing business with prime contractors or construction management firms? Majority construction management firm. All right, go ahead. Okay, so there's an opportunity there to create more networking and more introductions for you. By show of hands, how many of you are doing mostly agency work? Okay, so there's a real opportunity here, guys, for us to, and that's what we're doing, right? So with respect to the prime contractors, in July, we have a lunch and learn with STV Inc., the major program management firm, doing a lot of work across the country, right? And so in July, what will happen is you will have an opportunity to go to their offices. They're actually right down here in the Car State building, to meet with potentially their CEO and their heads of division. So they're in healthcare, education, infrastructure. So when this meeting is set up, right, it's a lunch and learn. Make sure, we talked about before, have your pitch ready. Have 1-minute pitch that says who you are, what you do, and the value proposition that you deliver. The other thing is, this is an opportunity for you to take your business to the next level, quite frankly, because they're very focused and committed to working with BGA firms. And so that's going to open up essentially doors, but it's a relationship. We can't say that, you're going to leave out of there with a contract, but there's a process, right? So many of these prime contractors, they're mostly using Building Connected. How many people are on Building Connected? Okay, so that's a good sign. There's a lot of you on Building Connected. But we're going to also create the same opportunity with Skanska Building. We're talking to Turner Construction, who's doing the soccer stadium. We have to run fast, folks. So we have a small window. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to use the coaching session. Some of you have leveraged the coaching session. I'm not hearing from all of you. So I need you to set up those coaching sessions to tell us specifically what you're chasing, what are the pursuits, and then we'll figure out collectively how to open up those doors. With respect to agencies, we've met with the MTPA, Port Authority. Port Authority, by the way, is an interesting entity because you have to be certified with them. Even if you have the state certification, in order to do business with them, you still have to go through a certification process. So look, being in business, you have to go through the teamwork process. So if you're not pre-qualified with a particular entity, we talked about your back office, right? You want to make sure, because often, many times, our small, medium-sized company, we get frustrated. We've got to do 10 pre-qualifications with 10 different companies. But if you have your back office in order and you can click on those templates, your financial, your insurance, your resumes, it'll make it so much easier for you to get through those pre-quals. Anything else that I missed? So, Rich, can you please talk to the class just broadly, not specifically, about some of the pursuits that you're looking at, specifically with the One Brooklyn Health project?
Are we giving them the mic?
Yeah, they're giving the mic. And just from a strategy standpoint, how we are...
Bring him here.
They said bring you here. Just give him... And this is a good example. I'm calling him because he's very persistent, he's very resilient, and he's a savvy business person. And some of this information has to be shared. That's why we're all here. It's information exchange. So then.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, there's information to share. So Amanda and I go way back. We are this One Brooklyn project, about $640 billion. And we were pre-qualified for 30 tiers, between 1 to 10 million and 10 to 20 million we qualified for. So we had an opportunity before for about 32 million, the Gill Bay first phase. We did that. The second phase didn't go too well with them from a contractual standpoint. So that's man saying you have to get your contracts right. If you have any holes in it, these guys will just stand on you.
Yeah.
So the first thing you have to do is understand your contractual terms. The next person that we're looking at, we're chasing is with EW Howe. Between that $10 to $20 million. And they're teaming with us, with assistance with Abner, to actually go in for another phase of the project. And that teaming equipment that we have put in place, the attorneys have to be involved up front. Every I's gotta be dotted, T's have to be crossed. And as he said before, don't fall for the game of them simply saying to you, we want to get you on board, and they lure you in. And once you have that contract in place and it's not correct, you're going to fall for the lurky dog. It's simple terms. Not because you're a minority contractor, you're any less than anybody else. You are not. When they push at you, you have to push back to get your contract right. Understand your terms. Understand your obligations. Understand the work. Understand your financials. And don't sell yourself short. If you know what you're doing, never sell yourself short. If you got to give some percentages up front, negotiate it. Push back. For this particular contract, we are already pre-qualified. They need us, and we need them.
That's right.
They have 30% that they have to meet. And we are qualified to help you meet that 30%. And finance prepared, and they have the experience, they have to beat it. So we can sit at the table and we can thoroughly negotiate one down.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And for those of you, the other thing we're looking at are these project labor agreements. There's about $50 billion of city-funded project labor agreements, where some of them are mayorally supported, and essentially it's an opportunity for you to, if you're a non-union contractor, how many of you are union or non-union? Not union. So it's a good handful of us. These are projects that represent opportunities to get involved. You're paid for better wages, but it's project specific, right? So you may jump in a KLA project, and then at the end of the job, you might not like the contractor. You're not married into it, right? And so these are some of the things we're thinking about doing. There is also a concept that we're going to float to the state to see how we can get some of the agencies to create more carve-out opportunities for our whole work here, right? So we're always thinking, trying to be innovative to see how people open up pathways. So I'm going to stop there. Is anyone chasing something besides the one Brooklyn Health, both public or private, where we could be potentially about to launch? Because you know that there's several big projects. Okay.
Well, look, we're chasing VN 86 or 84. Would you be aware of that, no?
Okay, as a DOT or city?
And the right back there. MTA. So we're chasing the bar for the MTA, then that's going to be the core. We're doing all around the Verizon. And we provide testing services, engineering services, site safety management, and possibly QC. So a bit currently, we have a non-draft with the arcade ribbon now, in fact, called manager clients map for whenever. So we do a tire repairs, which is part of the preservation and maintenance project for the rich. So we have a couple of small projects going on, and so if we win that project, maybe $500,000 project, $500 million, and if we get pre-qualified there, then he's going to be in trouble as well. The guy with the glasses over there, but he's my law director. There's this guy over here maybe in trouble too. So, we checked it, and then we also have another project with the port, with New York Power Agency.
Power Authority. Yep.
Yes.
What I'm doing. Yep. These are all agencies, folks. So what I would encourage you to do, agencies or primes or projects that you're interested in pursuing, share that information with us through the chat or through an email or a coaching session. so that we can invite key procurement decision makers or executives that are involved in it. And then that's where we get to do the one-on-one and create a much more intimate environment where they get to know who you are and you the deal.
And I don't know how they found Theo, but they actually, the SCA called me.
Yes.
To do an interview.
Yes.
And I've been accepted, so I got to finish doing the pre-qualification. And one thing that I didn't realize is that they do staff augmentation. And that they also supposedly have a project for program that they do $1.5 billion set aside for Black-owned companies.
Yeah.
So if you do the pre-qualification and you do engineering, staff augmentation, and site safety, then they have a low bid contract that they'll just.
Site safety. Did you hear that? Site safety, staff augmentation. What was the third one?
And then the other one is concrete inspection and testing, which is a little bit higher.
Concrete. So for those of you staff augmentation, that might be something. We are actually going to. I met with the person at SCA. I think it was Tuesday this week. They're very excited about meeting with BJA participants. So we're going to try to kind of rapidly get you involved. So.
Just a question that I think is a maybe of all the different strengths that everyone has here.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you use a back pro, please.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just hoping that, is there a document that you guys had that describes everyone here, what they do, and how to access them out? Because that would be very, very helpful to make these alliances. Because I can shake as many hands as I can, but time is short.
Yeah.
But if we have that document, it would be helpful.
We did that lab in the previous cohort, and my graphics team is already. So here's the thing, right? Before we distribute the collected document, we have to make sure that everyone has submitted their capability statement, so that we're not like going back and doing all the design work. So we got to make sure that everyone has submitted their capability statement or brochure, so that we now will have a master document of all of your profiles and capabilities, and then we'll distribute it to not only internally, but we'll distribute it to the project teams and so on. Okay. So yeah, it's already, I forgot to give you my word. It's already done, but we don't want to release it yet because we want to make sure. So we'll shoot out an email.
Yeah, and that's to make sure that I saw my attendance document this time, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
so I'm in the space for this thing, correct?
Yeah.
And so it's also about making sure the team is tight, because we don't want to just put anybody in there and vouch for people that we don't know because we haven't had the time to get to know you all, right? So there is a process. There's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, the sheet. Yes, thank you.
We scan still require?
Yeah, scans of prequal. Most of you said that you were involved. You've already completed the building connected, but if not, you can take a picture of this when you get a chance. And for those of you who are not on a pre-file with Scansia, take a picture. They're also going to be a company that we're going to bring to talk to you about their projects.
I got the Borsia, like, for example, I could do all these expos for women business owned, like United business owned. And I talked to all the agencies, and they're super nice when you're there. Mm-hmm. And for example, the school thing, I like to talk to schools. They call me about the mentoring program. I hear videos. And the EBD cards to write. I feel like for me, the problem is not like meeting people and sending the emails and following up. No. It's like they are probably overwhelmed, right? And they would always ask, so maybe through this program we can
this is your competitive advantage, folks, because what you need is an advocate, right? You need an advocate. You certainly have to do the work. The benefit that you have is that, my team and I bring approximately 20 years of subject matter expertise in opening doors and making sure that small, medium-sized businesses are getting their fair share of contracts, right? So work with over 5,000 businesses, facilitated hundreds of millions of dollars of contract opportunities. It's not easy. And like to your point, you have to push it. Now, Rich could attest, it's not easy. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to make that happen. Miko.
I want to be very clear. Your MWBE certification only gets through an email. That's all in the queue. But when we get you an email to like say that stuff that you happening. If you are not marketing, if you are not a PRD, if you don't know how to be, if you don't have any political capital and know how to be politically savvy, you will sit here and you will go to those events, you will go to those tables, they will smile, they'll be like, oh, take a brochure. So it's that if you don't know how to do those things and set up systems to compete, even though you may not be a McKissick, you need to operate by type. If you can't do that, you're done. That's it.
Yeah. All set. So 8:33, folks. Send us a note on the chat, and look out for the next big event.
One last thing I want to share with you guys about PLA. If you don't understand it, one of my clients came to me and asked me to explain the PLA for the health and hospital. And I uploaded the whole document to ChatGPT and it broke it all down for me. So you could use that. When you go to the lawyer, it'll break it down by section and it'll tell you exactly what the 1-to-1 ratio is about the steward and all of that. So just upload it.
So there's a difference. There's a distinction to be made here. If you have the regular ChatGPT, you're not going to be able to upload. You would need to get the Pro.
It's like $10.
20 bucks. I got it. This is long.
Like work it out. But yeah.